Hi everyone! Welcome to another engraving tutorial. Today we're working with leather. A lot of people assume leather can't be engraved because it's soft and flexible, but that's absolutely not true. In this video, we'll show you why leather works so well for meaningful handmade pieces. Before we start, let's get everything ready. Leather doesn't require heavy pressure or high speed. In fact, it's the opposite. Work on a clean, flat surface and keep the leather as steady as possible. For this material, we'll be using a combination of carbide burr bit and ball bit. We'll also keep the tool at a low speed and use very light pressure. The goal isn't to carve into the leather, but to gently mark the surface and let the texture do the work. Let's start with this leather heart charm. It's stitched but still open at this point because later we'll fill it with foam to give it shape. Keeping it open now makes the engraving part much easier and way more comfortable. This heart charm is part of our leather kit, so it's a great example to show the full process. But the engraving itself works the same way on any piece of leather you already have at home. For this one, we're engraving initials using letter stencils. Instead of thick marks, keep your guidelines really light. Leather doesn't forgive heavy pencil lines very easily. Once the guide is there, you're good to move on without overworking the surface. For leather, it's best to start with a carbide burr. It removes enough material to break that shiny top layer. Low speed helps you stay in control and keeps the leather clean. Go slow and let the bit do the work. You'll feel the surface open up as you move, and suddenly it stops feeling intimidating and starts feeling really satisfying. If the leather looks a bit fuzzy after that first pass, this is where the small ball bit or a square bit comes in handy. These bits help to clean up the edges and smooth the lines without removing too much material. And this is where the engraving really comes together, with clean lines and a result that feels intentional. Once the engraving is done, that's when the foam goes in. Now it really feels finished, soft, balanced, and personal. It's a small piece, but once it's engraved, it suddenly feels like it belongs to someone. That's kind of the charm of charms. Okay, bad joke. I'll stop. Next, let's move on to something that works really well as a gift. This small bag is also part of our leather line, so it starts as a simple, clean piece you can build and customize yourself. It's one of those everyday pieces you use all the time, which turns into a really meaningful gift for someone you care about. So let's say I want to gift this bag to my sister. What about adding a floral design to keep things soft, decorative, and timeless? When engraving leather like this, it's less about precision and more about rhythm. Let the lines flow and follow the shape instead of forcing perfection. Leather holds organic shapes beautifully, which is why florals feel so natural on this material. This turned out so beautiful. I'm sure my sister would love it. At least, I hope she does. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments. For our last project, we're working with a leather notebook. Leather notebooks already feel special on their own, but engraving them makes them even more personal. The phrase we chose is "Dream Big in 2026," something simple that sets the tone for the new year. Journaling often grows around this time of year when we slow down and start thinking about what we want from the next chapter. Setting clear intentions feels different when they're written on something you chose and customized yourself. That's where engraving becomes a real ally, turning journaling into a more intentional and meaningful experience from the very first page. Once it's engraved, the notebook feels less like a blank object and more like an invitation to start writing. And here are the finished pieces. 3 different projects, all made from the same material. Seeing them together really shows how versatile leather can be, and that leather engraving doesn't have to be complicated at all. Now we're curious, what leather item would you personalize first? Let us know in the comments. And hit the subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming engraving tutorials. See you next time!